And I'm gonna let the thing go 2 times, so we'll go like that. What is going on, everybody? This is the Enough Said Sports Podcast live show every Monday and Friday. We get this thing booming. My name is Adam Dickens. That is Trey Adams. Trey, what's up, man?
What's going on, everybody?
Glad to see you guys this week. We're going to go ahead and cue this intro up and get this thing started for you guys. Woo! After tonight, week 9 in the NFL will be wrapped up in the books. The NBA is heating up. So let's get episode 30 of the Nuff Said Live Show started. Yes, sir. Trey, I'm real excited to get into these topics. So let's go ahead and take a deep dive into this bad boy right here. The Dallas Mavs are off to a 5-1 start to the season. Luka is on fire, putting up 49 one night. I believe he put up 49. Woo! Hot like fire. All right. What do we think tributes to this Dallas Mavs hot start for the NBA season?
Time. I think that was the key thing that they didn't have last year. Straight time together, getting that chemistry, working it out with their co-stars. Kyrie's off to not the best start, but Luka's picking up right where he left off last year, man. So it's just riding the wave, riding the freaking wave.
Why is it still, bro? I don't know why it's still clicking. That's crazy. Anyways, that's wild. Still trying to get used to these guys, but we're gonna keep going in. I would say one thing I've noticed is that Kyrie. I know we all want to talk about Luca, right? He's the big star of the show, right? But I've noticed that Kyrie has really accepted his role, right? Accepted his role as a secondary. It's not his team. It's him leading the way. To me, that's surprising me because first off, we haven't heard any Kyrie drama at all to start this season. It's coming. It's coming at some point. It's coming. I'm telling you, Kyrie is something coming. We don't know what it is, but it's going to be something big. And I'm just glad he's been quiet and just accepted 20 points a game. I think he's had like 9 assists. I could be wrong, somewhere around there, and just playing okay. You know what I'm saying? And accepting their role and just letting Luka take the reins. You know what I mean?
That, and like you said, I agree with your statement of him taking the backseat role, but they also got a good supporting cast around them. Like they surrounded them with straight shooters to space the floor, so Luka could do his little slow body, slow mo drive. Same for Kyrie when he needs to, and I think my guy J Kidd is doing the best he could with the minutes. So again, if Luka's hot, resting Kyrie, letting him rest, and then again playing off of each other. So I think they're doing good job dispersing the minutes right now. And again, it's pretty much showing on the where it matters most on that record.
Well, you know you're doing something right when Grant Williams and Tim Hardaway are averaging about 16 points each. Which if we would have looked last year, that would have not been happening at all. This Mavs team does seem like it's a little bit more team centric than it is the Luka show. Am I right about that?
Agreed. So
But Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just about to say, hopefully they can continue to build off of this. They did lose that one tournament game against the Denver Nuggets. Again, it was the reigning champs, but they're one loss against the reigning champs. But hopefully that is just, I mean, they did beat the Hornets. Melo went off. But again, it's just they know what they have to do. They know their recipe. Stick to it. That's it. Stick to it.
Well, I'm not trying to be a hater either, but there is a question I do have because all the wins they have are against subpar teams, and they won against the Nuggets, and then they got their butt handed to them a little bit.
Mm, mm.
But besides that, it's like Brooklyn. I think they beat. I
The
can it's just
Spurs,
other
Grizzlies, Bulls. Yeah, I see it. I see it.
just
I,
not going to be playoff relevant teams if we're being honest. And so I think that's the one thing I do hesitate with this. And hot starts do happen, but let's see when shit hits the fan a little bit more, and they have to go against those good teams.
I agree. I agree. Like I said, you got to win the games you're supposed to. They're doing that. So because if they lost any of those games, we'll be like, oh my God, Kyrie is damaging the team, or Luka and them not working together. We will be saying the total opposite if they were losing. So they're winning the game they're supposed to. Like I said, they lost that one. Like you said, let's just see how far this could go out with them two working together. But so far, so good, and hopefully they could continue to be dominant and stay at least above the top five in the West. Just stay above top five.
And that's a fact. If everybody can like accept their roles going forward and everything is good with it, which I'm gonna be talking about this a little bit more later on. Uh, actually, right now, since we're changing the topic, if everybody can accept their roles and just make it simple for the entire team, everything goes so much better.
I peep. But the one team that is staying hot and they are freaking balling and dominating, I think, as is their wins and the score shows. The freaking Celtics they're the only last undefeated team. They are 5-0. They do play today. They play the Timberwolves and they're in Minnesota. Not really a threatening team, but just something to watch. So I definitely had the Celtics winning, but they are dominating the league. What's your take on them and their dominance so far?
I mean, 155 on the Pacers ain't no joke, and 155 on anybody without going into overtime is your business is booming. If you got 155, that's crazy. I get this is a new generation of like a scoring NBA, but that's a little ridiculous if I may say so myself.
Yeah, I agree. That's ridiculous. But they're putting up like over 115, over 110 a game. So they're doing it, and they're doing it offensively as well as they're obviously keeping their opponents' points down. So they're doing it on both sides. And I think right now, like you said, that in regards to their roles, I think everybody's kind of playing it fairly well. JT's dogging like he normally expected to do, and Jaylen Brown and Porzingis are finding their mesh with each other. I think that's what the question was coming into the season for them.
Well, I think I agree with you. The roles are a big ideal. I think that they're right now they're red hot from three. You got Tatum, that's at 47 and a half. Trey, what you just click on?
Did I do something?
Yeah, it went back to I don't know what that was. Hold
If I
on.
did,
I mean, did you click something?
maybe I did. I think I did change
Hold
the
on.
borders by accident. My bad.
What is going on? Go ahead and talk while I'm fixing this.
I don't know what the heck the last thing you said.
Hold on, man. Lord have mercy. Oh, that's what it was. Ha! Yeah, you just hit the slide. It's fine. All right. Anyways, number thing. But this is what I will say, right? Celtics are hot at the three. You got Tatum damn near shooting 48%. Okay, which is wild in itself. I think Derek White is shooting something crazy like 75%, which just makes no sense at all.
Mm,
But anytime you have I think the balance that they do with Drew Holiday and able to play that really good perimeter defense adds to Tatum allowing him to do whatever the hell he want to do. Because before then, it was either him or Jaylen Brown on the best offensive player for the other team, or Marcus Smart, and that's just not doing a lot. And I think losing Marcus Smart and adding Drew Holiday allows everybody to be in their positions where Derek White can kind of do the relative help role, right? He
Mhm.
can just add. He's an enhancer. He's not a playmaker. He's not anything special. He is just filling the gaps. And so when you have Drew Holiday doing his thing, and you have Jalen doing his thing, and you got Tatum doing his thing, everything is allowed to flow freely. And I think that's what's happening right now with the Celtics.
Yeah, that role the role players are playing extremely well when they're called upon. I think again they are a loaded team. Let's be real, they are loaded. They have like a good 9-10 man rotation that is like, oh my god, some of these people if they were playing somewhere else would be like getting way more minutes. But again, they're all meshing on the game plan of obviously trying to win the fucking championship. So with that mindset and everybody playing right now, hopefully again, same thing we said about Dallas, it's just maintaining it and keeping it going. But yeah, I definitely see them sustaining this, especially in the Eastern Conference. They're going to be a top 2 seed. It's either them or Milwaukee are going to be the top 2 when they're all said and done.
Definitely. I think again, I'm not trying to be a hater, but I look the teams they played too. It ain't that good. They're just not. They're just lucky and had a good schedule start. But I mean, let's not be fooled. This is a playoff team, just like you just said. They are gonna be right there at the end when it comes to Eastern Conference Finals, and that's a fact.
Moving on to the next segment, I saw a video of Austin Rivers addressing this, and I was just like, I actually like this topic because it's some truth to it. So he was pretty much saying, we've always had the NBA has always had the face of the league from pretty much since Jordan. It was always somebody to pick up the can do right after. Somebody was right there always. And you had from Kobe, you had from MJ to Kobe to LeBron. Even LeBron shared the mantle a little bit with light skinned Steph Curry. So with that being said, it was always somebody there that was professional, a family person, somebody that could be the face of a whole league or brand. And I feel like the question was, who is that next person? Do we really have that, or do we just have the NBA itself? But do we actually have the face of the league anymore?
I I, I would say when LeBron retires, no. I mean, you got Steph for a couple years. You got Giannis, who's 28, so he doesn't have that much longer to go. Um, if it's not them three, you got Luca up in the air, but like I don't know, man. He's not that like Luca's different, man. Like for example, he got fouled tonight, and like he was mocking the referee. Like that's not what we see the face of the NBA doing. Like he don't even care. Like I don't think he really understands what he's doing here. Like he's just balling and like going on.
I
Same
wouldn't
thing with
say
Jokic.
that. Don't act like LeBron or Steph. Steph didn't throw a mouthpiece at it like that. It was by accident. But I mean, they have antics. But I
That's
get
what I'm saying.
I
That's what I'm saying.
I get that. I get that. I'm in
It,
the same boat. I'm in the same boat.
I mean, I think you never know who's going to be that person. If we're being honest, up until the last moment. Like if you really think about it, Kobe came at he really didn't develop into that guy until the last couple Jordan years. LeBron didn't really. I mean, LeBron was that dude, but like the face, it took him a. I don't know,
Think,
man.
think, think about it. Think about it. But it was always a transition. It was never a gap. And now I feel like we're gonna have a gap because you do have some people that you would say or consider to be the face, like Jason Tatum. I think he can be. I think he carries himself in a professional way. He's a family oriented guy. I think he can be the face of the NBA. I do think that, and I think honestly he has to embrace that role. Somebody like him, he has to. I know he's dad first, and that's his priority. I get, we understand that, but to the point of like the business side of things, and again, if something happens in the world or the U.S. today, and it does impact the NBA, or it's something that should be said, who's going to be that person to take that big step and speak about it professionally and take that role? I think he has to embrace it. I think JT should be that person moving forward, but I don't think he's willing to do that right now. No, no.
Well, yeah, I mean, whoever it is, it's got to be a killer, man. Like that. That's the big thing for me. It's got to be a killer, and I don't see no killers right now. To be honest with you, like the closest thing we got to a killer is Jokic, and he don't want to be the face.
He don't give a rat's ass. He don't. He don't.
Which is crazy to me. So like Jason Tatum, if he was more feared, if he was more, in your face about it, not as nice, which he has his moments. So like when he has a moment like that, it's crazy. It's crazy. But it's so far in between that like we don't see that. So like I am with you. I do kind of feel like it's a gap. I mean, I would say Luka is the closest thing. I think Giannis, if he has a bounce back year this year to really show he's the guy, he's got my vote over Luka, in my opinion. But
He's
that's
too
just me.
goofy. I love Giannis, but he's too goofy. He
But
don't
he
take
not
shit.
goofy on the court though. He not goofy on the court though,
Nah,
and that's
nah.
the one
You're
thing
right.
you can say.
Agree.
I mean, it's very Shaq-like ish, if you're being honest, very Shaq-like ish, which doesn't really resonate with the MJ image or the Kobe image or the LeBron image. But I mean, unless Wemby gets like some attitude on him, man, like unless you get Wemby like pushing dudes onto the court or something like that, pushing dudes down,
Did
I
anybody
just don't.
notice? Or did you notice that all of your people were like international people? It was nobody homegrown USA, none of that. It was other than Jason Tatum that we discussed. Everybody else was. You said Luca, you said Luca, Joker. You said everybody that's not here, international ball players. You ain't saying nobody else.
That's legit. The league is more international, and that's unfortunate. Because to be honest, if we can blame anybody for the gap, let's blame LeBron because he played so long. Technically, we should have got a Steph gap. We should have got a Steph gap where he ran the league for 5 to 7 years of just him and no LeBron. Like it could have been not the Warriors and the Cavs for so many years in the finals, or LeBron versus Steph. Steph should have had his own solo moment, but LeBron literally has just been hanging on so long, and he got in a lot of people's way. For being honest,
I
it
agree with
really
that.
is
I
sad though.
agree. I agree. They it was years where they shared it. Then obviously it was like, all right, this is LeBron's, and then again. But I do think a lot of it, especially after 2015, it was definitely like you got that shared feeling, definitely.
Before we move on, I mean, my vote is Cam Thomas to be the face of the league. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it's probably people acting like he freaking invented the jump shot. Like they are just acting like he is God or something just because he's on a hot streak right now. It really is embarrassing though.
Not embarrassing. I would say.
I mean, he's just aggressive mid range shooter. Like nothing. Like I don't see anything necessarily special about.
My vote is Jalen Brunson. Go Jalen.
Oh, God, he's too short. The league would never. The league would never let that happen. For being honest, hold on. Before we go to NFL stuff, because we got time. We got time to kill. What do we think about this James Harden trade? On both sides for Harden. Well, all three sides. Harden. Uh, for the 76ers, for the Clippers. What are we thinking on that?
I feel sorry for Paul George and Kawhi because now you have to share the ball with another jock, pretty much. So I feel sorry for Clippers fans that y'all have to experience this bullshit. The 76ers did what the heck they needed to do. They got more role players and surrounding players to build around Embiid and Maxey. So they did the right thing. But Clippers, I do not know how this is going to work in the playoffs for y'all. That like just imagine Russ and James Harden fighting over what you call it. Paul George had to take the back seat to Russell being ball dominant. Now you got another one again. Oh my God, have fun with that.
I am the system. Okay, the system ain't me. I am the system. Okay, that
I
is what
can't believe
Harden
he
is
said that.
preaching.
I can't
That
believe he
and
said
you,
that.
bro. If I'm in that locker room, bro, I'm get me out of there, man. Like, get me out of there. I think the one person that's really gonna get lost in it, unless they do it exactly how I would do it. Okay, I'm not an NBA genius, but this is how I think it should go down. Right? I think Harden should run the main part of the system. Okay, like he should be the starting point. Okay, you still have Kawhi do his thing. When it's clutch time, Kawhi is the guy you go to. Nobody else. Paul George, maybe. Uh, Paul George continue to do his thing, and you have Russ completely run the entire second lineup and
He's been
have
doing
it
that.
just
He's been
like,
doing that.
but continue to do it. Like, don't try to mix and match. Like, oh, like we already know what Harden and Westbrook is together on the court together. It's not what I want. It's a lot of what do you call the bull? What do you call it? The guys
Oh,
with the red sheet and the
yeah,
bull.
yeah. The
Yeah, you know
I
what I'm
can't
saying.
get the word, but
A
yeah.
lot of terrible defense is essentially what you're gonna get. Um, don't don't let Russ just kind of vanish within himself. Like, make sure he plays a part, make sure he has a role. I think that's all he really asked for, is to play an important part on that team. And kind of, again, let Harden run the first through the third quarter offense. Fourth quarter come, get that thing to quiet, man, and just call it a damn day. And I think that's the most efficient way to run it. We know Paul George isn't the closer that, especially in the playoffs, that we want him to be either. So I think define your roles very easily. Define your roles, and whenever Russ is on the court, whenever Harden's on the court, Russ will better not be on the damn court. If Russ is on the court, pull Harden off. I don't care. You can't have them at the same time. I don't care what nobody says. You
It's
set
gonna
yourself
happen.
up.
It's gonna happen, and you're gonna hate your eyes for watching that shit. Watch, you're gonna hate it because it's gonna be ugly.
The what do you think about it? How would you take it as a teammate if your new traded for teammate said he is the system?
At a point, at a time, in a point in time, yes, you were. When you were with Houston, that was the last time. That's when you was the dominant. That's when you was getting averaging 30 on a regular. Dude, you haven't done that in years. Like literally, Doc Rivers was trying to unleash you, and you were sitting there saying, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Go to Embiid." He was trying to play through you, and you didn't want that. You didn't want it anymore. So, what makes you think now all of a sudden you're getting older, you're getting fatter? What makes you think now you're going to be more dominant? No,
Not
dog, you're not.
not not fatter.
He's getting he is, bro. It's not even muscle mix no more. It's just straight fat. Like he's just fat now.
I love the AI photos of made up James Harden, like humongous, and like it's just looking like Mark Henry. That shit's hilarious. But anyways, we're making that shift and that switch to the NFL topics, and that's how it should be. We got the big primetime game that just happened. The Cowboys lost to the Eagles. Uh, Big time. It was relatively close game though. What do you think the issue is with the Dallas Cowboys?
I'm tired of having this conversation in the sense of you bitching at McCarthy for these play callings, man. I think the play calling is atrocious. I think it's fucking atrocious. It's like you could just have three good plays in a row of throwing the ball, and then all of a sudden, again, we know you're a balanced team, but then you'll do some like force shit, and it's just like, why? Go to what's working. If it's working, do not touch it. And I think he doesn't know how to do that. And I just think at this point, they need to get rid of him. Like I'm it's not all on him. Some of that is Dak. It is some of that is Dak. But the play calling to me is the biggest issue in Dallas right now. It really is.
Well, I think when you say play calling, I don't know if this is what you're thinking of, but what I'm thinking of is the lack of rush attempts for Pollard. There is no balance on this Dallas Cowboys offense at all. There is, you got Pollard running at like 4.3 yards a carry.
Mhm.
Okay. And he got how many? He got 12 rushes. Okay. If you're running at that 4 yard mark, you better be getting at least 18 rushes a game. And they're not balanced. And that's what it comes down to. And if you notice also, they rush him more in the first half. And
Yeah.
that's when they score majority of their points. After that, they scored 6 points in the second half, which is where they needed more points, obviously, to win the game. And that correlates just with the usage of Pollard and running and not keeping the defense on its toes and playing true. And that's what happens when you become unbalanced. Everybody knows, okay, it's all on deck. But if you play a little, I wish people would take more something out of the Eagles handbook. Okay, give your running backs the ball more, give them more, and then it's less stress, it's less responsibility on that quarterback. And if it's one thing Prescott needs is less stress and less pressure on him because he obviously can't handle it. And that last drive showed it. Like stupid mistakes, like the 2 point conversion step out. That's
Yeah.
just it's he's oh that's what
Typical.
anxiety looks like. That's what too much on your plate looks like when you make stupid mistakes like that.
Typical. He is not the. I realized watching this game, he is not a broken down play quarterback at all. He's not. I don't care what anybody says. When the play is dead in the scramble mode, he is not good. Like he makes very bad decisions. Like you have to prove to me otherwise. He makes very bad decisions, and it's just like if he doesn't know what to do. Like you said, it's noticeable. It's easily noticeable that he's going to do something stupid. Like I feel like if you're a Cowboys fan, it's like, in my opinion, when I used to watch Tebow throw the ball, I'd be scared every fucking time. I would be because you don't know what the fuck is going to happen.
Yeah, it's I mean, that part is definitely more on McCarthy because and communication between all positions. If you really want to, when shit happens, everybody needs to know what to do. Which way are your receivers gonna run to maybe get a second chance at catching the ball when the play does break down? A lot of that's communication issues, and it just tells me a lot of those players, a lot of those coaches are just showing up for the paycheck and kind of going home. There's not that desire to win a championship, if we're being honest, and that's really sad because these Cowboys have been holding their breath since the '90s to win a Super Bowl. So it really is sad. Um, I mean, what do you think about the Eagles on the Eagles side of that game? Because I feel like Cowboys are easy to kind of bash, but the Eagles, I feel like uh, again we're talking about them this week. What do you think?
Their big plays was there. They made big plays, and usually you don't see that from them unless they are in like a nail biter a little bit, and then that's when they open up their playbook. And I do think they expanded on that. I think it was some great throws Jalen had, like that one touchdown to Devonta Smith. That was just like in the money. All you had to do was put your hands out. The shit was right there. Like I definitely think they open up their playbook and they're doing it at the right time. Because before we was questioning, they just run, run, run. Now they're actually expanding their game. AJ Brown, I mean, we already know he's going to get his, but now they're getting into a more fluid of using all their weapons. And I think that's what's going to make them continue to be deadly moving forward, is that they have all these weapons. And if Jalen Hurts is hitting, they're going to be scary. And they chew clock. They know when to chew clock. I think Dallas doesn't know when to do that. Like we all know Dallas before, they used to run, run, run. And then they'll catch you slipping. That's not the case anymore. Now they want to be a pretty much a West Coast team and throw the ball way too many times. That's not Dak's game. That's not Dak's game.
Yeah, I do think it's unfortunate for the Eagles that it came out. The tight end, I'm blanking on his
Dallas got
name
it.
right now. Yeah, Goddard fractured his arm. He's gonna miss some time. So just when you're really heating up, which is something I love when they do, is get the ball a little bit more to the middle of the field, um, to that slot receivers and the tight end. They need to do a little bit more, and they just so happen to start doing it. And now he's out, which is pretty unfortunate. Um, but we also had another big game, man. We had the Bengals beating the Bills. The Bills are on somewhat of a down streak. Uh, what are we gonna blame the struggles in Buffalo on?
You know, I'm gonna go straight to that damn the play calling and QB play on this one. But I would say it's not even the play calling. I would say it's just Josh Allen. I don't know what kind of slump and funk he's in, but he got to get out of it. He has to. Like, if they don't not just make the playoffs this year, they have to do something. They have to beat. They're gonna end up seeing this team again. Let's be real. They're gonna end up seeing them again. And y'all them losing this game, and it was winnable, more than winnable. They had their chances. They fumbled the bag. They cheddar bobbed themselves. They shot themselves. And I think this shit is going to continue to happen.
Not 8 Mile reference.
They're going to continue to do this, like I've been seeing them do, and it hurts me to watch this because we know how Josh Allen, how good he can be, and this is the one we're getting. I don't know what's going on with him, but something has to change.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't think it's a Josh Allen issue. Because I just don't know how much Stephon Diggs you can do to another team. Like I don't know how many times we got to see this, and there's only so much you can do that. So that I feel like that caps a ceiling for your offense when you're going back to back to back to them. At some point, the defenses catch up. They get it. They understand.
Who's throwing him the ball?
What?
Who's throwing him the ball?
Josh Allen, and he's getting him the ball.
But you're force feeding it. Like you have y'all, they did that run game was completely dead. Like completely dead. And it shouldn't have been.
But that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be just Stephon Diggs. You should have secondary and third layers. And when are we gonna just find out that Gabe Davis is not that guy? Like he's good for a prime time Hail Mary down the fucking field, cool, whatever. But like on a consistent basis, there is no secondary to third options on this team. Like you got Dalton Kincaid who played his butt off. He did his thing, right? But you need another receiver on the outside to really play make. And I remember when old ass Emmanuel Sanders was the slot receiver for this team, and he was getting the ball and he could make plays. They don't have anybody else. And so I put this on the coach. I put this on GM for not having layers of weapons, right? Not just the force. He has to force feed Stephon Diggs because there is nobody else. And Gabe Davis, again, is not that guy. I repeat, Gabe Davis is not the guy that you want as your secondary receiver. I don't care what nobody says. On any other team, he would be a 3 or a 4, not a 2. So that's just, I'll rest my case on that. Oh, like and that. Run the ball more. I don't care. Like, even if Cook gets stuffed, okay, I don't care. Keep running the ball because all he needs is one run that actually breaks off. And you got 20 or 30 yards less that Josh Allen has to carry this team. Does that make sense? Like, yeah. I understand it's not the best running game on the planet. It doesn't have to be. But if you don't stay true to your offense and you don't make that defense play the run sometimes, then you're going to have just not a good offense, if we're being honest. Carl Anderson, who the fuck is that? Matthew Holland? Are you choking your mom in your profile picture? Yeah, that's what I thought. Who is that, for real? You know him?
No, but it's funny. I just had to.
Who the hell is Carl Anderson? Am I tripping?
I like that. That was funny.
That's crazy, man. He looks like he eats glue sticks for dinner. Like, fuck out of here.
That was funny. Oh. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I like the comment about Gabe Davis. I think it's like you had the last 3 seasons of trying to make it work and trying to show that he could be the number 2 or because he's not a number 1. And clearly it's not the obvious. He's not the number 2. And y'all had the trade deadline to make moves and y'all didn't make anything. So at this point, it's like you are putting Josh Allen in a bad spot. And then again, you ask him to throw 40, 50 times a game. And again, I just think he's forcing the issue. I don't think he's being himself because he is holding that weight on him. And he that's what I'm saying. He needs to either speak up or he needs to be able to be more vocal about the game plan moving forward. This is your team. If y'all not winning, they're gonna blame your ass. Let's be real. And then they're gonna start questioning your elite status. And next is gonna be should the Buffalo Bills move on from it? Like, let's be real.
Guess who's leading the league in QBR right now? It's Josh Allen.
Is
That's why I
it?
say it's not his fault. He's leading in QBR right now.
Ew.
And
Ew.
that's just a fact, and that's because he is force feeding Stephon Diggs. But there's again still need layers. But I'm with you. I
Ew.
rock with you. The Baltimore are. I messed this spelling up because I was rushing. But the Baltimore Ravens legit contenders after a blowout win versus the Seahawks? There you go. I got a little bit better at the end. Um,
They they've been doing the damn thing, haven't they? I know we talked about them before and Lamar being an MVP candidate, but I think they're tied. Well, not tied, but they're 7-2. They have the same record as the number one seeded Chiefs right now. And I don't think anybody saw this coming when their offense hasn't been dominant. They've been dominating as of late, but they started the season off slow. And now their defense, I watched this game. I didn't even know their defense was freaking third in the league or second in the league. Their defense is actually really, really good.
who the Ravens?
Yeah.
It's updated. They're number one right now.
Are they?
Yep.
Well, I mean, yeah, they just did a shit show on the Seahawks. So yeah, that makes sense.
What I run it by is so when I'm looking at stats for the defense, I look at because some
What?
when I'm looking at stats for defenses, because some teams have had bye weeks and stuff like that, you really can't do points. So I do yards per play, which is the best thing to me is the best thing you can do because it doesn't account for your bye week games and stuff like that. So, but they are the number one defense. They're top 10 in turnovers, so that's a wonderful thing. Crazy stat. What week is this? It's
They're
week
7
9.
and yeah,
This will be the end of week 9. Guess how
yeah,
many touchdowns they've allowed?
9.
9 on the dot. That's one touchdown per week. I think they had their bye week already. I could be wrong. But either way, that's about not a touchdown a game, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's like I said, the way they're looking right now, and again, it looks like they're doing it offensively. Um, their offense is doing it in different ways. It's not just one person. It's not coming from one person. Zay Flowers looks like a stud right now. I love the way he's been doing with yards after catch. He's been balling. It's not even like he's just on a fly and doing something. No, he's doing this shit. As soon as he gets the ball, he's making moves. I think one motherfucker he put in a damn spin cycle like crazy. But in general, they're using their weapons, and this is what we said needed to happen for them to be legit contenders. So yes, I do think they are legit contenders for the AFC at this point. Absolutely.
I I'm definitely agreeing with you. Any game where you can have Lamar come out and have 0 touchdowns and still win the game by a blowout, I don't think anyone would predict that at all. I also think that a lot of people aren't talking about is Geno Stone, who he had an interception against the Seahawks this week, but he has a total of 6 interceptions, which is in Trayvon Diggs type area as far as interceptions, and pretty damn clutch. Because to be honest, I pay attention to the NFL a good amount. Like I'm pretty close on it. That was the first time I heard his name. Maybe that makes me a casual, but I mean he seems like a baller, man. Like I didn't. I was like, the announcer was like, Geno Smith just threw a touchdown to Geno Stone. I was like, what universe am I in right now? Like I was just like, this is weird.
Yeah, their schedule is not easy moving forward too. So we'll really see if they continue to build on this momentum and able to keep that lead in that division, because we all know that division is a crazy one. Like everybody in that division has a winning record right now, with Cincinnati winning yesterday, or I think they're even now. Either they're even or they're 5. No, they're 5-3. They're 5-3.
Right now, if the AFC, if the playoffs started right now, the entire AFC North would be in the playoffs.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Which
That's
we
crazy.
talked about this coming into the season, did we not? We talked about how good they were going to be, and we were like, we both said it wouldn't be a crazy idea if this entire division was in the playoffs, and that might come to be unless the next guy comes in and spools the show for the next topic, which is CJ Stroud. Should he have been? Because he's right there. He's right at the right under the wild card spot. Um, I'm missing vowels in the way I'm talking right now. I'm tripping. But should CJ Stroud have been the overall first pick instead of Bryce Young? Are we having
That's
some hindsight opinions about
that's
this?
that's a tough question. For the idiots, yes, he should have been there. God damn, this boy is balling. And he's been balling since his first start. Yes, Bryce Young team is worse. He got less pieces, blah, blah, blah. They both rookie QBs. Their offenses are both young. If anything, I would say the Panthers, I thought, came in with a better defense than the Texans did. I thought on paper it looked like it.
Yeah.
Clearly, that's not the case. But again, we're talking about the QB specifically. Right now, he's looking like it. Absolutely. He is looking like it. And I'm not even talking about because of the game he had yesterday. That just like that blew my mind. That I was like, holy shit, 470 with 5 TDs. Holy shit. And a game-winning drive. That was clutch. That was fucking clutch.
Okay, I will start it out like this. Everything you said was very valid. I'm right there with you. I think the most incredible aspect to this year for CJ Stroud is the 14 touchdowns to 1 interception ratio. That's some Peyton Manning, Tom Brady type, Drew Brees type numbers. And you can't say that about a lot of quarterbacks nowadays to have that type of ratio. Obviously leading the league in that.
Let alone
But
a rookie. You can't exclude that. Let alone a rookie.
A rookie, especially in the Texans team that everybody wrote off for the next few years, if we're being honest, because
I was
they
one.
are
I was one. I'm guilty.
quote unquote rebuilding. But I don't think we can be this quick to say he should have been the first pick because Bryce Young is simply not in as good of a situation. Mainly because of the weapons that he has right now. You got 75-year-old Adam Thielen, that however you say his last name, I always mess it up. Adam Thielen, shout out to the first name though. His weapons just aren't as young and youthful and dominating as CJ Stroud has. I mean, hell, he's got a Noah Brown, who until this week, a lot of people weren't even talking about, and that man is out there looking like Calvin Johnson. Some of the catches he was making this week. Nico Collins, what's Tank Dell? Weird name, but
yeah.
But I mean, this is young, youthful, good quality talent receivers, and the Panthers over here like we got Terrence Marshall. Like what the fuck? Like I think it does him a disservice, and I feel like it's easy to say right now. I really do, but I say, well, let's give it a couple years. But with that said, if you got CJ Stroud in fantasy, just you are a lucky man, especially this past week. That's just
He was on my
crazy.
bench, dog, and I lost.
Well,
I had
guess who
Lamar.
dropped? Guess who dropped Tank Dell? So there you go. That's my L of the week.
But the Panthers, I will also just like to throw, and the Panthers aren't doing anything to help him. Like for instance, y'all don't have your first round, y'all don't have your first round pick this year because of the trade to the Bears. So now y'all are a horrible team. Y'all clearly going to be, if not the worst team this year. You don't have that pick. You could have traded for somebody at the deadline to make something happen, to at least build for the future. So you could try to like give him some kind of help, veteran help, instead of, oh, let me go get a rookie and make him play together and force the issue. But again, you could have went and got, sad to say, like Jerry Jeudy, who needs to be on a team of his own to be a star type shit. If you was desperate, I don't think they realized that They're a really bad team, and they got some pieces on there they could have got rid of. They got some pieces.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a 3-year rebuild. Like it's. I mean, I I don't even think the Texans knew what they were getting. To be honest,
I
they
did.
were just
I
drafting somebody
no
to
no
to help.
no.
They were just hoping that he was. You think the Texans was like, yeah, this guy's the guy. Like
Did they not
they
trade
would,
up for this? They traded up for them.
yes, but what I'm saying is they would have took Bryce if they had the chance.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think D'Amico Ryan had his eyes on Stroud the whole time. I honestly believe that.
It's a
I
lot of
honestly believe
speculation
that.
going on. It's a lot of speculation going on.
I'm telling you, I highly believe that because they traded up both of them picks, I believe, or no, they had one. The other one they traded up for. It was the defensive end that they traded up for. But I think they knew from the gate that Stroud was their guy because it was even questions that if the Panthers was in debate about it, that they were going to the what's called was thinking about trading up so they could get Stroud. They didn't want Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean, okay, Adam Scheffner. You know what I'm saying? That sounds really good.
Trey Walksonowski. I can't say the word right. The
You're
name.
stupid. What was bomb? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I want to keep up with this, and while we're here, real quick, what do we think about the Raiders situation going on? They fired Josh McDaniels, which I knew was gonna happen. And they fired their GM, and then they hired or put Antonio Pierce, former Giants linebacker, I believe, at the head coaching spot. They ended up winning this week. I can't remember who they beat off the bat. I'm tripping right now. But they ended up having a blowout win against that team, and it looks really good right now. So what do we think about this situation, real quick?
That the Raiders are just wasting money, and if that's the case, I'm here. You just wasted 85 mil. So I mean, you've got that much money to waste on a coach and a GM. God damn, let me get some of that.
I heard the buyout was 40 right now, or you can get the 80 overtime. And I heard McDaniels took the 40 right now.
Really?
Yep, that's
He
what I
said,
heard.
"Just
I heard,
give me my shit." I mean, he's going to get a job somewhere. If it's not in the NFL, somebody in college will hire him.
or we'll just hire him for the third time as the Patriots offensive coordinator again, and we'll make this round 3, which is absolutely dreadful. But yeah, either way, man, this was a great episode. Really enjoyed this episode with you guys. Absolutely great topics. We talked about, touched on a lot of stuff. Look forward to more coming on Friday. We'll have a big show coming for you guys. I'm gonna play a couple commercials before we get out of here. Trey, did you have any little last words? I mean, not before you die, but like before we end this episode.
I say, "Damn, what's about to happen to me?" Who plays tonight? You got the Chargers and Jets. Go watch that game, that Monday night game. I don't know what you're gonna get out of the Jets because they fucking suck, but
Yeah, I got a feeling that Justin Herbert's about to blow this again somehow. And Zach Wilson scores 1 touchdown, and that's the touchdown that wins the game. Oh yeah, shout out to Big Dick Joe Burrow for fucking the Bills up. I didn't get a chance to talk about him. But I'm saving it. We'll have a big episode on him soon enough because he deserves it. And when everybody counted him out, such as yourself, he came through and shined his light like Jesus Christ rose on the 3rd day. Okay. Or is it 7th day or the 3rd day? I can't remember. Let me
that's
know.
all I'm saying right now. This guy here, this guy.
Oh man. Who was the guy that got caught in the NBA doing it was they were the camera was like panned to him and he was like doing like the sucking motion and like he was like I think it was Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know, maybe somebody else. Either way, all right, let's get out of here, guys. Good show. I'm gonna play some commercials and get this thing going. Hey, yo, Trey, I think we got a little reminder for the audience. Go ahead and let them know, man.
What's going on, you guys? We want to take this time for you guys to show support for Nuff Said Podcast on all social media platforms, being Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We just want to make sure we're providing the best entertainment for you guys. So go ahead and click that follow button, and we'll appreciate it.
All right, next commercial. Hey guys, I hate to interrupt the show that we got going on, but we got to take a break from talking sports and talk about Dreadsock. They are our wonderful sponsorship. Make sure you check their website out, www.dreadsock.com, and at Dreadsock on Instagram. If you have locks or protective hairstyle, make sure you check them out. Keep those locks lint free when you go to sleep at night and just when you're walking around the house. Make sure you tell them that Nuff Said Sports Podcast sent you. For right now, we're going to send you to a 30-second commercial from them. Hey guys, before we continue with the rest of the episode, we want to let you know where you can find more of our content. Trey, go ahead and let them know, man.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel for full content. We go live on Mondays and Fridays on Kick and Twitch for your best live content.
All right, we're out, guys. Peace out. See you next Friday.